It is I, Bosttradamus. Gobble gobble. Tremendous day of Thanksgiving games. Minnesota, Detroit, uh, uh, big time division matchup. I thought Detroit would be 2.5 point favorites, and they are. The total is real low. It's only 42. Whoever the home team is in this, I like better. Detroit's only lost, I think, one home game. They're going to have a lot of road games left because this is like their fifth or sixth home game, and I think it's their sixth. But I'm gonna take Detroit just because it's in Detroit. Neither team is, although they're both 6-4. No one really thinks they'll get more than maybe a wild card weekend playoff win. But that's if they win the division. So this will probably be maybe not the best game to watch with the two quarterbacks struggling, but I think it'll be a pretty good game, close game. Detroit will win. Dallas at Washington at Dallas. This is a fantastic game. I thought Dallas would only be a 5 point favorite. They're 7 point or 6.5 because they've looked so good. But this is a rivalry game, so I'm gonna pick Dallas to win the game, but to not cover the 7 points. Like a 27-24 type game. Washington's got probably as many good players on offense at the receiver position as Dallas, even though Des Bryant's looked great. And but Ezekiel's looked fantastic, so I think he'll probably have some big runs. The total's 52, so this is going to be a real exciting game. I think Dallas will win, but I think it'll be closer. I think it'll be 28-24, something like that. Washington maybe have a chance to win at the end. And don't be surprised if they do and really get things going. Pittsburgh at Indy. I thought Indy would only be a 3-point underdog, and that's what they were. That if Luck were to play, but he's not going to play. I don't think Tolzien is. So now they're 8-point underdogs. I like Pittsburgh, even if Luck was going to play. Pittsburgh's got to win games, even though the rest of their division's not looking great. But they got to get going on offense because they're definitely not a big-time defense. So even if they get into the playoffs and get things going, they're going to have to score a lot of points, which is definitely possible. The total dropped from 53 to 48, but I wouldn't be surprised if Tolzien has a big game. The Steelers' defense is not that great, so definitely like the Steelers to win. The points probably so, but don't be surprised at all if Tolzien has a big game. He's a good college quarterback, and he's going to be eager to play. San Diego at Houston. I thought Houston would be the favorite in this game, only about 2.5 or so. San Diego is actually a 1.5-point favorite. So this is one of the more interesting lines I thought. San Diego's coming off a bye week. I don't know if Rivers, Gates, and company are really good off bye weeks or what, but I'm going to take Houston to win the game, but not by much. The total's pretty high too, 46.5. San Diego seems to struggle against teams like this. I don't see San Diego scoring a lot of points, but maybe that'll be the case, and that's why they're the favorite coming off the bye week. Maybe we'll be prepared. I just think Houston sounds like a bad matchup to me. I don't see Houston score a lot of points either, though. So if Houston can't even score 20, then obviously San Diego will probably win. Kind of a coin toss game to me. Tennessee at Chicago. So when I saw this, I immediately thought, well, Tennessee's going to be a favorite on the road for one of the first times in a long time. And I thought they'd be like a 3-point favorite, but actually 4.5 because Cutler's not playing. But I don't really see too many quarterbacks as a downgrade from Cutler. He hasn't been very good except for the one game. But I like Tennessee. I mean, if they're going to be that big favorite, why not take them? The total is 42.5, so they're expecting an ugly game. But I by no means like Tennessee. That I'm kind of surprised they're a 5-point favorite. So I'll take Tennessee in the points. But if Jeffrey and I don't know, not too many people play well for the Bears, but if anybody plays well, I don't see Tennessee covering. But I'm going to say they will. Jacksonville at Buffalo. I think Buffalo's a slam dunk this week to win for sure. I thought they'd be 6.5 or 7.5. I'd like 7 a lot better. Total is 45. Probably be a cold weather game. I wouldn't be surprised if Jacksonville covers at the end. I've been saying that a lot lately, and it was close again last week when they're on the road against Detroit. Just no faith in Jacksonville really. So I think Tyrod Taylor will have a nice game, and I don't see Jacksonville getting too much going. I think Buffalo will score, over 24 to maybe 28 or more points, and Jacksonville probably won't get close to 20. So I think Buffalo's a slam dunk. Cincy at Baltimore, this is usually a real tight game. Always throw them with the Steelers every time those three teams play each other. But the Bengals have been struggling, just lost their best player they've had ever, probably, with AJ. So I figure Baltimore would be a 3.5 or 4-point favorite, and they are. And I thought they'd be 4, and it is 4 or 4.5. So I definitely like Baltimore. Cincinnati, I think, is at a turning point with I think they should keep Lewis, and they definitely got to start looking at retooling. Though they were lucky to bring in a lot of veteran free agents who are now starting to struggle, and they had great drafts, but didn't really have a great draft this past year or before that. So with AJ out, I think this team's going to struggle. By no means sold on Baltimore at all, but wouldn't be surprised if they win and win by a touchdown or more in this one. Arizona at Atlanta. This is a real interesting game. I thought Atlanta would be a 4-point favorite or so, or 4.5, and they are 4.5 or 4. I usually love it. Atlanta at home, they're much better. Arizona's a dome team as well. The total is 50.5, and when you first look at this game with Arizona, so many injuries on defense, you think, man, it's going to be a shootout. My buddy Carl, Falcons fan, he says Atlanta 23-19, and I'll go with that. I'll take Atlanta to win, but I don't like them as much as I usually do, just because Arizona's unpredictable, and Beasley will be a big player in this game if he can get pass rush. If Atlanta can get a pass rush, they'll win for sure. I think Atlanta will definitely score 24 or more points. If they don't, they'll probably lose. But I'm going to take Atlanta. But this will be one to watch. Arizona hasn't had the ball bounce their way all season, and so they're kind of due. But Atlanta's coming off a bye week, so I'm going to roll with the Dirty Birds. San Fran at Miami. I thought Miami would be a big 6-point or so favorite, and I had them at 8 points, and they are 7.5 or 8. So no reason to like San Fran at all. Just huge self-destruct with that team the last couple of years, and it's really showing up right now. They played the Cardinals and the Patriots the last 2 weeks, so those are tough teams, tough games. But Miami's kind of hot right now, so with them traveling, I just don't like San Fran at all. I'm going to take Miami with the points. I'll say they win by 10, or might get real crazy. Miami definitely, they're not good enough to fool around though, so that they need to go in and take care of business. Los Angeles at New Orleans. I thought New Orleans would be a 5-point or so favorite, and they are 7, and the total is 45.5. I think the Saints are coming off a bye week, so I definitely like the Saints. And to win, the total might be close. The Rams are a really good defense, so if they can get a couple turnovers, they'll definitely be in the game for sure. But I'm going to take the Saints just with the rookie quarterback. It'll be interesting that this is not a great defense, so he played I forgot who they played last week, but if he can't get going against this defense, who knows? I don't know. This will be an interesting look for him. If Drew Brees takes care of the ball, I think they win. He's going to know that going in, so I think he'll take care of the ball and win by 10. Nothing crazy. Giants at Cleveland. I thought Cleveland would be a big underdog. They're 7-point underdogs. I thought they'd be like 6 points or so. And I wouldn't be surprised if this is the game that they win. The Giants usually have one bad game every month or so, usually. But I'm going to say the Giants win and cover just because Cleveland, and there's not much to talk about, so I'm gonna roll with the Giants. Uh, Odell and Joe Hayden will be a decent matchup, though, if you're watching that for some reason. Seattle at Tampa Bay. I thought Seattle would only be a 4-point favorite because we got Earl Thomas and Deshaun Shed, arguably our best cornerback this year. Uh, Even with Sherman, he's been great. He's really kept that Seahawks secondary together because they haven't really brought up the next big time LOB Legion of Boom player, but he's kind of been that this season since Maxwell and what's his name, Browner left. I wouldn't be surprised if Tampa Bay wins this game. I'm going to take Seattle just because they're my team. The points, I would stay away from winning by 6. I'm going to say we win 27-20. So I'll say we win by 7 and cover the 6, but I definitely don't love it. And I think Tampa Bay could win the game if they play like they did last week. Carolina at Oakland. I figured Oakland would be a 4-point favorite, and they're only 3.5. And I think people are probably looking at this game saying, "Oh, maybe Carolina will be a bad matchup for Oakland." And everyone was talking about Oakland, and now I guess this looks like a trendy pick for them to finally lose. The total's high, 49.5, and I think Cam Newton will have a big game. But players like Khalil Mack have given Cam Newton trouble, and Bruce Irvin is looking like he's fitting into that defense now. So Oakland's the one team that's made me look somewhat smart this season, and I said they're going to win the division, and so I'm going to keep on the Raiders bandwagon. It's only 2 losses this season, so I'm going to roll with them again, especially with Kuechly banged up. And I wouldn't be surprised if Carolina scores a lot of points, so it makes this real interesting. KC at Denver. This game not as interesting as it looked the week before with KC having that weird loss at home. So I thought Denver would be a 3-point favorite, and they're actually 3.5, and the total is only 39.5. So this should be a real ugly game. I like the Broncos to win. Thomas and Sanders are just better receivers than the Chiefs have. Macklin and Charles, haven't. The Chiefs have kind of been winning without them being big-time playmakers, which was, supposed to be the 2 guys that were going to make them a championship contender because they're definitely a playoff team. But this will be a real tight game, I think. I think Denver will make more plays at the end. If they don't, I think the Chiefs will win straight up. I think the Broncos are going to need some big-time plays from some of their offensive players for sure. New England at the Jets. I thought the Jets would be 7.5, and they're 8-point underdogs or 7.5. Fitzpatrick will have to play the game of his life for this to be a competitive game, which I think is possible. I think if they're not playing, this will definitely be a wash. I don't care if this is a divisional game or what, or even if the Patriots didn't look that great against San Fran and lost the week before. So, but I think that is possible for Fitzpatrick and Brandon Marshall, and if Forte could definitely beat this defense for some big plays. But no reason to really think that'll happen. I like New England and the points. Anything over 8 might be a little crazy if the Jets are halfway healthy and Fitzy and all those guys are playing. Green Bay at Philly. This is a fantastic Monday night game with 2 teams that really need to win. Both these look like playoff teams in October, and now they're not looking so great. Eagles have way more excuses than the Packers, though. Boy, the Packers do have a ton of injuries, so it'll be interesting to see if they have guys coming back that help them compete. The total is pretty high, 47.5. I thought the Eagles would only be 2.5, and they're 4, so I'm going to take Philly. It's kind of crazy to think Green Bay will lose 5 in a row, but might be the case here. And Philly is going to have Sproles and Matthews back. It looked like their injuries were things that they can probably walk off and get fired up and focused to play in this game. I think it's kind of a coin flip game. But since I like the Eagles, I think 3.5, 4 sounds like a bit much, but I'll take that as well. So happy Thanksgiving, y'all.